Ba ba da ba da ba 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 bee, 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 bee. Ba-da-doo. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Yo, it's Toki time. How's it going, everybody? Oh my god, we're at the very end of the case. Oh, okay. So words English. I've been looking up like a spoiler-free, not really a guide. It's like I found somebody that did like a spoiler-free sort of summary on how long the game is, because I'm always curious because the game is like split into parts, you know? It's like episodes. So like and usually howlongtobeat.com, where I usually go to look for, oh, how long is this gonna take for stream? It usually only summarizes like average completion of the whole game, and that was like 24 hours or something. So I wanted to see how long the rest of the game was, and I found a little spoiler-free sort of episode timing guide, and from now until the very end of the game, there's like a little under 4 hours left, I think. However, we are playing this on stream. There's like approximately 4 hours left, which means there's gonna be exactly 2 streams. Oh my god, we're 2 streams away from finishing this entire game. We're finally at the final villain. So I'm really excited because this is gonna be the most intense part. Also, okay, wait, recap. Episodic recap. First of all, last time, oh yeah, I forgot. We also like got rid of a bunch of evidence. So last time, oh sheesh, there's so much. How do I consolidate the entire summary? Last time we kind of, did we just jump right into questioning? Oh no, we did a little bit of investigation. So there was a little bit of investigation first where we went back to, I always forget like which side is which. I think we went back to the Babal side. We went back to the Babal side and did a little bit more investigation around here. And basically what we ended up finding out was both sides of the building are mirrored. And after finding out that there was a hidden wall inside the fireplace on the other side, we use that to deduce that there's a fireplace wall on this side, which basically allowed us to indict Sheena, who is the partner of Agent Lang. And we found out that she was also secretly Callisto Yu. Oh my god! Which, like, I mean, I didn't really call it, but we got to a point where she's like she was like the only character that could have possibly done the murder, and I was like, I mean, would they really do this? Would they really make her secretly Callisto Yu? And then was like, oh my god! I think it's really that's a sign of really good writing is when you get to just a little before the point where they reveal the plot twist, you sort of figure out what the plot twist is, like just before, not like way earlier into the story, but like close enough, but a little bit early. I think it's really good. So Callisto Yu, I mean, okay, she says that she didn't do any of the murders. She says she didn't do any of the murders, but she set up this whole scenario. She like fabricated this entire scenario where she would be able to frame Kay Faraday for the murder because she wanted to get Little Thief, which is the Yatagorasu's thieving tool. And there was this entire convoluted argument that we went through, and it was really great. There's some really good character moments. Oh my god, we love Lang. We love Lang. He's so great. And we love Detective Bad. Oh, Detective Bad. These two were great. I wasn't really expecting much from them when they were first introduced, but these two are really awesome. And now they're gone. He's retired and he's off to bring Callisto Yu to jail. So they're off doing their own thing. I'm pretty sure, like, given the list of characters that we have, I'm pretty sure our only suspect is this nerd, the tree man. The weird old tree man, who also, I think I pointed this out last time, but like, just before we got into the argument section with Sheena, this guy was also in the room, and like Edgeworth was like, "Hold it, not you. You stay here." And then he like snuck off. He snuck his way out of the scene. So I'm pretty sure it's him. But like I feel like we have nothing. I feel like we have nothing really directly connecting him to either of these crimes other than the fact that he's like the only character. Other than this guy, but I'm pretty sure the idea is that like he's been in charge of the embassy this whole time between the past 7 years and beyond. And then this guy was like newly appointed recently. So I'm pretty sure it's this guy, but I don't know how any of the evidence really connects to him other than like something about the papers, and then I mean, I guess the statue was like in his office, right? We don't know anything about this. It's wet, but we learned that there's like a weird. They set up this like insane system where the pool or fountain water is like connected to the sprinkler system or whatever, and then it refills. I think that has something to do with why this is wet, but I don't understand why. We also have this thing, which was, oh yeah, so there are these flowers that I've been trying. I was racking my brain like the entire last part of the case, where it was like, we still haven't used this piece of evidence yet, and I don't understand what it means. And then at the very end of the last part, where Callisto Yu was arrested, we got these. We got these hair sticks, and it's like, oh well, that's obviously that. Well, that's obviously that, and like, I think the wire was connected between the two offices, so he helped to like pass things back and forth, and I think that's what directly connects him to the crime, but I don't think we have anything like incriminating. I think I have an idea of what he was up to, but I don't have anything incriminating, and I don't know what his motive is, other than like being the boss of the crime ring. We also have this. That's going to be relevant somehow. This is going to be just like the first case where like, because there's blood on this card that helps us tie it to the criminal. It's just like so this is also the tape from the first case, which I love. I love how they tied the whole game together by being like, oh, in the first case, he was trying to get the evidence that's relevant to this case. But it's like the first case where, because the victim's blood is on this tape, that's how we got Jacques Sportsman declared guilty. So I imagine this is going to be something similar. But I don't know how it's going to connect directly. I mean, that's pretty much it. That's like as summarized as I can make it, and as detailed as I can make it, without convoluting, without like explaining it for another 20 minutes, or without missing out on too much. I mean, there's a lot. Every time I come back to the game, it's like, oh, I have to do this big explanation of what happened last time. So anyway, we have our crew of 4. We are now missing. So she's gone for the case. She's the same person. I don't think he's going to be that relevant. Franziska. Oh yeah, Franziska's still here. I don't think he's going to be relevant. Most of these people are gone and irrelevant now. Most of these people are gone. So now it's just us 4 and whoever our villain is, which I think is the tree man. So, now we remember that? Are you okay with that recap? Because now we know who the Yatagarasu really was. And yet, there remains much to this case that needs to be resolved. Like how the weapons cross the country lines, for example. The two countries have incredibly strict security systems and entry procedures. Short of a miracle, it's impossible for someone to have smuggled them in. Smuggling them in? Unless they were in charge of the entire embassy, we will need to open a new line of investigation on just this aspect alone. But before we do, I would like to go through my evidence once more. Oh yeah, I think I like read these couple of lines. He like throws out all the evidence that we don't need.
Hey, there's a VCR here, sir. Now we can see what's on that tape Detective Bad gave us. This piece of evidence from the KG-8 incident, hidden from sight for 10 long years. I just know that this is related to the current case, somehow. Detective Gumshoe, if you could please play the tape for us. Sure thing, sir. Sure thing.
Oh, hey, it's this guy. He's the murder victim. His hair isn't like insane Dio hair yet.
This man, it's Manny Cochin.
And also he has the funny card. Also he has just a normal knife. That's not one of our knives that's relevant. It's not our Keyblade knife, and it's also not one of these Kodopian Embussy knives. And he's holding a knife in his hand. This looks like footage from a security camera at the entrance of an apartment building.
An apartment building? How do you figure that?
Unlike you, I actually read the summary file on the KG8 incident. Miles Edgeworth, you can't read English. I am very good at English. I learned it in 2nd grade in Germany, and now I'm a master of English. And the crime scene was the victim's own apartment.
So this footage was shot at the entrance to the victim's own apartment building.
At the trial, Mr. Faraday claims that this piece of footage existed.
However, no one could find it.
Yes, somehow someone was able to steal it and hide it through Mr. Ernest Amano.
I can see how this would have been a definitive piece, and why someone would want to hide it. But it's a piece of evidence. The name's Detective Dick Gumshoe, but it's a piece of evidence from a 10-year-old case. There's no way it's related to this case we're working on right now, sir. Actually, I believe it has everything to do with the case we're working on now. The ringleader even went so far as to use Mr. Portsman to retrieve it. Which means that in this video lies a very inconvenient bit of footage for the ringleader. Where? Where?
He bashes the TV, he goes, "Where?" and he smashes it to bits.
Wait, what was that? Huh? That bit you played just now. Please show it to me again.
Ooh, hello. There he is. Oh, wait. Oh, I thought I was thinking something else. Never mind. I forgot this was the tape from 10 years ago. Okay.
This car. This is something we cannot overlook.
What is this? This is... I forget. Is this... That's just the flag of Alabast. Alabast, which is the country that Quercus Alba is the ambassador of. Wait, when was... Wait, give me the tape. Evidence from KG8. This was 10 years ago, wasn't it? How long ago was this? Wasn't this like less than 7 years ago where they split up? Am I crazy? He has the new flags on his car. Wait. That's a different flag. Okay, that actually might be the Kodopian flag. I'm now realizing. I was thinking because it only has the flower on it, right? But like the background of the flag is actually different. So I think it's supposed to be the combined flag of Kodopia and not just the Kingdom of Alabasta flag.
Why is that, sir? Look here, Detective Gumshoe.
Oh my, I mean, I guess it's probably relevant, but I don't know what specifically it means.
Take that!
Or I guess it just means it had to be a high-ranking Kodopian person. Which I guess would probably be Quercus Alba. I still think I still think the reason it couldn't be this guy is because he was like recently appointed.
This is the national flag of the Principality of Kodopia. And because it has the national flag on it, we know this has to be an official government car. But the question we should be asking ourselves is, what was a government car doing there?
Oh, hey. Just the man we were looking for.
Ah, Miss Ron Karma and Mr. Edgeworth. So you were here all this time.
I wonder if there's gonna be like an actual investigation segment. Because, like, we've investigated all the locations, so unless it does that adventure game thing where, you did something and now the rooms changed arbitrarily for no reason, I think we're just going right into, like, an extra long argument section. Or something.
Ambassador Alba.
Thank you very much for continuing the investigation, even at this time of night.
Want to ask something? Go ahead.
If only I was even a tiny bit more careful. This tragedy would never have happened. I am truly sorry.
This wasn't your fault, sir. This had nothing to do with how careful you were.
You idiot, Quirkus! You couldn't chase after a simple thief! Now then, let's get down to the real reason why I came looking for the two of you.
This weird tree man. I don't like the way he looks.
I would like you to put the I'm not such, but hey, here's a crazy idea. What if you just didn't investigate the murderer? What if we, like, just stopped right here? Is that okay? I think that would be fun. We can go chill out, grab a slice of... Excuse me? I heard you've apprehended the thief that turned this embassy upside down. And we're in the middle of an event celebrating our country's reconciliation. We can't exactly have the police and detectives walking around here forever. I'm totally not sus, by the way. I'm suggesting you stop the investigation for completely innocent and innocuous reasons. You're scaring the visitors away. I hope that you can understand how I feel.
But we must finish our investigation and resolve the remaining issues.
Why don't we leave the rest of the Alabastian and Alabastian and Babalese police?
Ambassador, we are so close. Just a little bit more and...
Ms. Von Karma, I'm afraid I've made up my mind. Sucks to be you, shitlords.
There's just stream schedules sometimes Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Is that fine that I can use it as an upload schedule for my channel? I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? I mean, also this week, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm streaming on Friday this week. Just because, you know, time. I actually have something on Thursday, so I have to change the timings of things around, and I want to make sure I have some extra time to stream the end of the case, just in case I go a little bit over time. I don't know. What do you can upload whenever you want. I don't have any control over you. What do you mean? Just need this good schedule. I mean, you can just pick any day. You can just like pick any day you want. I don't think you need to like match it with someone else. Did I read this line?
And without my permission, you can't proceed with your investigation anyway, right?
That's true. Why are you acting a little bit sus? I don't know why you want us to stop our investigation. Why are you're being very strange, Mr. Alba.
As he said at the very beginning, This area can be considered to be Alabastian soil, in which case we are nothing but foreigners in their land. Is this really where our investigation ends?
Hold it! Oh my god! Oh, hey, he's back. Remember last time when we left off and he was like, all right, I'm leaving the rest of this to you. I'm gonna go bring in this criminal. And it's like, oh, I guess he's back.
Shifu, we found Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Shifu, this way.
Yo! Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh my god, you know what this is gonna be like? This is gonna be like in the main Ace Attorney series where Phoenix Wright, when Phoenix Wright is like caught in a corner and then he needs a way to proceed with the trial, and then in order to do that he needs someone on the prosecution side who will let him continue with the investigation but will also push him to his limits and won't accept anything less than the absolute truth. That's what's gonna happen now. Agent Lang is gonna be our opponent for this argument, and he's gonna be like, all right, Edgeworth, come at me with everything you've got. That's what's gonna happen, and it's gonna be beautiful.
Agent Lang, you're back on the scene rather quickly.
If I laid back and took a break, I'd lose the scent of my prey, Mr. Prosecutor. He's so cool.
Agent Lang! Why have you returned? Why are you here?
Because I have to solve this case, no matter what.
Well, I'm sorry to inform you. No, don't take this the wrong way, because I promise there's a good reason for it. I don't suspect you personally. However, a member of Interpol was found to be a thief, and I don't know, maybe it was your fault. Maybe you did the murder. Under these circumstances, I wish to put your investigation on hold. After all, I believe our own police can handle things from here. They are quite capable.
At this rate, our investigation really will come to a close.
Not so fast! Ambassador Alba, I get it now. I really do.
Oh, I'm glad you understand.
Oh my goodness! Somebody raided me on Twitch? That's crazy. Thank you so much for the raid. Cat Streams 2000. Welcome, welcome. We're like literally, oh wait, you know what's funny? I actually forgot to change the title on Twitch. We're like literally at the very end of the case. We're like, this is like the second to last stream, and we're just beginning the very final arc. So I mean, I guess if you don't know what's going on by now, there's a lot. There's so much to catch up on, but welcome. Welcome on the Twitch side. One sec. I did just realize I forgot to change the title on Twitch, so I just want to do that. Whoop. The end doesn't just begin now. It began last time. But yeah, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I'm actually live on both YouTube and Twitch. Personally, I just generally prefer YouTube. I mean, first of all, I just like when the VODs save. Also, I don't know, something about the Twitch UI. Also, I don't like the Twitch mobile app and everything else. It's okay to stream on, but like, I started recently dual streaming between YouTube and Twitch. But I do stream primarily on YouTube, and I think that's where most of my viewers come from. But yeah, I am also streaming on Twitch at the same time. Anyway, we have to talk to this weirdo. This definitely not sus ambassador of the foreign country.
Oh, I'm very glad you understand how I feel.
No, not that. What I was talking about is... Hacha! I know who the killer is behind tonight's murder. You! No?
Killer?
Do you really? Oh, I mean, I'm not scared. Do you really mean that, Agent Lang?
Wolves don't lie. But also, I do only have one brain cell, which means I'm probably wrong. Edgeworth, you gotta back me up on this. I don't know, I'm really struggling here. I think I got it, but I think I'm gonna need your help.
Then who is it?
Well, let me first say that I'm not talking about Mr. Cochin's murder. Oh boy, here we go.
I forgot that we do have both murders to solve. We do have to solve both murders at the same time.
That was all Sheena.
Here's the thing. So here's the conceit of this part of the case. Sheena insisted that she committed neither of the murders. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be pinning the entire thing on Quercus Alba. Because she, even though she's like an insane person, she's like a really evil and insane person, I'm pretty sure she probably wouldn't lie. I'm like 80% sure she wouldn't lie. So I'm like pretty certain this was all Quercus Alba, but we're gonna have to deal with this guy, this idiot that doesn't know what's going on.
Lang Ji says, the truth lies not at the exit, but rather shines outside the maze itself. The truth is unexpectedly simple. So let me ask you this. Who do you think was Damask II's killer? I'll tell you who.
It was you, Franziska von Karma. God damn it.
It was you, Franziska von Karma.
I was the killer.
Hey, wait, but that's impossible.
Yeah! Although, that whip is actually quite... Yow!
Hold your tongue on that ludicrous remark you were about to make.
Agent Lang, what is wrong with you? Are you that stupid? Are you seriously accusing her of murder?
Or is this just a bit? Is this just a bit because he realized it was probably Quercus Alba and he wants to work together with Edgeworth? He wants to work together with Edgeworth. Oh, the Yowie.
Yeah, I am.
He doesn't appear to be joking.
Hey, sis. I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right?
Yes, he did. But what does that have to do with anything?
I'm getting to that. Furthermore, in order to solve both cases, you moved around rather freely between Alabast and Babal, did you not?
Objection! And where is your evidence that I am the killer?
Not so fast! Huh. I was just getting to that. Trust me, I'll show them to you in due time. Ambassador Alba, in order for me to bring this case to a close, I'll need to inspect your office one more time. Will you grant me permission?
Do you think he's doing? I feel like he's actually doing this on purpose. He's like being extremely wrong on purpose because he wants to get Alba to lower his guard so that he'll let us inspect his office. That's what I think is going on. I think he's not as dumb as he is.
With things as they are, I suppose I don't have much of a choice, do I?
Good, then let's move out. Oh, and don't even think about running away, sis. My pack will be keeping a close eye on you. You can bet your bottom dollar on that.
As if I would have any reason to flee. But just so we're clear, your logic had better be sound. I hope you can prove me the murderer. That would be really cool, because I'll accept nothing short of a perfect explanation.
She seems rather upset, not that I blame her.
I expected that you'd accept no less. But we'll see how long you can keep that nose of yours stuck up in the air like that.
Hold it, Agent Lang. As someone related to tonight's case, I request that you allow me to take part. And so that I may clean up my superior's mess. And because Franziska is a goofball, and I want to dunk on her the entire case.
Huh. I guess I should. The more the merrier, especially when it's the peanut gallery.
Oh, in that case, I want to join in too. I love peanuts. I still haven't seen what it looks like in Alabast yet.
I also love peanuts, and I've been in Alabast. If you let Kay in, then you gotta let me in too, pal. I can't sit around and do nothing when Miss Von Karma's in trouble.
Hey, Gummy, let's have a competition to see who can save her first, okay?
Okay, I'll take you up on that.
I love how these two are like goofy little dummies. They're like little siblings.
Oh yeah, I'm fired up and raring to go.
As a detective, I don't believe this is something you're supposed to be excited over.
Sounds like this is gonna get real interesting. Ambassador Alba, I'll be bringing these kids along for the ride.
I don't know about that. I don't think I agreed to that. I just wanted you to do it because you seem gullible enough to point the finger at someone else, but I'd like you to keep in mind that this will be your last chance. This truly is the final testimony.
Huh. I'll have this whole mess cleaned up before you know it. Now, let's go.
Ikuzo. I'm interested in seeing what we can actually figure out. Or what we can actually, like, discover. Because, like, we were already here investigating. I guess we're probably gonna do more investigation on the flowers.
Okay now, let's first go over the facts one more time. Manny Kochan's body was found over in the Secretariat's office in Babal. The weapon that took his life was one of Alabast's ornamental knives. And then, the body of Damask II, Mr. Kashino, Gojo Kashino, it's all in the mind, was found here in the Alabastian ambassador's office. Through our investigation, we found that the murder weapon was the Primadu statue, and that this is actually Babal's statue. This case, no matter how I look at it. Sis, if it wasn't you, then there's no one else who could have pulled this off.
Objection! Is this really no one else? You don't think the person whose office it is gonna pull the door? Agent Lang, do you understand the full implications of what you are saying?
Of course I do, sis, and I'm serious. You were on the trail of the smuggling ring, and you wanted any evidence you could find. So, while people were distracted with the Yatagarasu's appearance, you snuck in here. That's when you two ran into each other. You and that other thief who took advantage of the confusion from the fire.
Objection! Even if all that were true, how do you explain the movement of the weapons?
Huh. Don't worry. I plan to show that you're the culprit behind that too. You had permission to investigate both embassies at will. With that kind of free reign, you could have easily taken the—
hey! Oh my god, I didn't even notice.
Hey now! Look, sis, I thought I already told you. I'm not messing around here. I can block these overheads all day.
That's like the first, actually no. I was gonna say that's the first person to ever block her whip, but I think Detective Bat actually did that too.
This case isn't directly tied to the smuggling ring. But Sheena certainly is tied to the smuggling ring.
He is right in saying that she is a member of the smuggling ring. However, the connection between this case and the ring, could it not be deeper than what any of us can imagine?
Let's get this ridiculous circus over with already.
Franziska, you need to calm down, because you only know the facts of the Alabastian side of the case. I don't believe you can see the case as a whole, and therefore solve it.
What?
But don't worry, I am taking this seriously as well, and I will prove your innocence.
That's the only way to be, Mr. Prosecutor.
Look at the way he looks at him. He looks at him with love in his eyes. Look at these two. They're staring each other down with unnecessary feelings.
But can you come up with anything else that can top my hypothesis? Of course, your explanation has to solve the mystery of the moving weapons as well.
Of course, and I will.
Remember at the beginning of the game when they first met and he was like, and Lang called him pretty boy, and I was like, oh my,
Are you flirting with me, Agent Lang?
Yeah, do you want to come over to my place?
Let us now delve into the truth behind the murder of Damask II.
the way these two both have their smirk on. It's like in Apollo Justice when where the popular fanship was that Phoenix broke up with Edgeworth for like the however long it was, like 7 years or something. And he was in a toxic yaoi relationship with Christoph Gavin. It's the same thing here. This is like they broke up immediately after the last case of the third game, and it's like,
Now we're open to anything, even Agent Lang.
You do understand, don't you, Miles Edgeworth? This isn't just a confrontation against Lang. If you can't figure out how the murder of Damascus II is related to the smuggling ring, then it will mean the end of our investigation.
As long as I have no good counter-argument to his hypothesis, then the best I can do is walk this thin tightrope and see what I can do. The best I can do is send a thing over this thin length of wire and see what I can do.
Come on, Mr. Prosecutor, let's get started.
Yes, let's.
Get a room, you two. Stop talking to each other like that. It's creeping me out. One of Alabast's knives was used in Babal to murder Mr. Coat.
I didn't realize we were going right into this. I actually thought we were gonna get like a 2-second investigation segment, but we're just jumping right into it.
And the murder weapon in the killing of Damask II was Babal's Primadou statue. Somehow, these two objects were able to penetrate the two countries' impenetrable security. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crimes was you.
Is that correct? So as long as I can't explain how the weapons moved about, Francisco will remain sus?
You got it, Mr. Prosecutor. So why don't you stop giving me a hard time? Under these circumstances, who the heck can carry a weapon across country lines? I've worked through every possibility, but there's only one that's plausible. Your boss.
Agent Lang, from what I've learned from you just now, is that you've lost sight of yourself.
What are you talking about?
By focusing too intently on that which is in front of us, we become blind to the truth. Don't tell me Long Ji never said anything to that effect.
Oh my god, he's roasting you, prosecutor. Who do you think you are speaking about Long Ji's proverbs like that?
I don't need his proverbs. You made him up. He's not a real person. Because my words are all you will need to see the truth.
Oh my god. I love when Edgeworth is really smug. It's so, because like when you're playing the main Ace Attorney games, Phoenix's banter is usually kind of dumb. Like he's usually snarky in his own mind, but when he banters with someone, it's usually really dumb. But Edgeworth is always so smug, and it's really funny to play as Edgeworth because he's always like,
I'm the smartest person in the room. Look at how dumb you are with your silly little ancient Chinese secrets.
Okay. I think the idea we're going on here, I'm pretty sure my hypothesis is correct, where these hair sticks, oh yeah, I forgot. It also literally says there is some dirt on the tips. These hair sticks were in this flower pot, and I think this wire was tied between like the flowers and I guess something on the other side. I guess we don't know, do we? Like something on the other side, but do we even have anything? It would have to be something that's inside like the office area. Maybe the statue? I don't know. But I think that's where we're going for this. We have to prove that they could have sent the items across this way, which is insane. Because how do you bring the entire statue across? We have to explain like the switching of the objects. The only one, I don't think this is relevant. I don't think we have to try and pin it on someone else yet. Somehow.
Hold it. Impenetrable? I should hardly think so.
Not so fast! You've seen the top of the wall between the two countries, right? Who in the world could cross over that?
Yeah, not even I could climb over that thing with that barbed wire.
The only way into either embassy is through the doors in the Theatrum Neutralis.
I still love the way they named that. Dark Souls ass boss room.
So, the only way for the knife and the Primidu statue to traverse the two countries is through those security camera equipped well-guarded doors.
Okay. The only way, somehow.
Hold it.
Oh wait, I just realized, I think he added did he add a line or did I just go to the next line? The only person to go between them. This is the last line. The murder weapon and the killing in mass sections of balls produce statue. Do we know when that was switched though?
Hold it. So you're saying that the Primidu statue was also brought over by Franziska?
Like I told you before, that's the only way it makes sense.
Hold it? And how exactly did she bring it over?
I haven't figured that out yet.
That's a rather weak statement considering how sure you are.
Maybe, but there is one thing I do know for sure.
This is nothing. Whoops, I think this is the same line. I meant to go back to the first line. This might also, oh shoot. I think I did it again. I keep on meaning to go back two lines. There we go. This might be a press 'em all, because sometimes they do that.
I concur that this knife crossed over country lines.
Good, but that's not the only thing that did. We mustn't forget about the other weapon. The knife was only one.
Oh, that's it. Great.
Hold it. Was Franziska really the only person to have traveled between the two countries?
According to the guards at both doors, she's the only one to go back and forth.
God damn it.
The sis there were,
oh, the sentence is just really weird.
The sis there was in Alabas when the Yatagarasu showed. And then, just before you guys found Mr. Cochin's body, she entered Babal. I think we can assume that's when she brought the knife into Babal.
Objection! Then how do you explain the Primidu statue?
I haven't quite figured that out yet. However, the fact that the two weapons crossed the border proves that the killer must have also traveled across the country lines.
The only things to cross the border are the Primidu statue and the knife. I should hardly think that those are the only two items, Agent Lang.
Okay, so this is where we present these. Because these came from, what is it called again? Alabast? This one's Alabast, right? It came from Alabast, and it ended with Sheena, who was in Babal. Murder weapon. These two objects. Is it this one? The only one who traversed two countries before and after the crimes was you. I don't know which statement it wants me to present on. This one?
This one! No, that was wrong! That statement is
What do you mean, is that wrong? Here, you're gonna lose some health! Damage to your health bar! Block this overhead!
Oh no, my frame data is bad! I can't block an attack that comes out that fast! You dare to insult the courts?
Maybe I'm on the wrong track, or maybe I'm on the wrong statement.
Objection! So it turns out I am on the wrong track at the moment, but don't worry, I'll get there.
Lang Ji says, confidence is like a soul, and we're. Oh, I think we got this line. I think we've gotten all the damage lines in previous cases.
Arg!
So I have to find. I know. I wonder if this is one of those ones where you have to press a statement and then go back and press a different statement. So now that I pressed all these, I just want to make sure. I'm just gonna jump through these. I want to make sure this isn't one of those press twice. But I think I have to find a contradiction in this one. Because I need to prove that the chopsticks made it over. Or maybe I'm on the wrong track and I'm not there yet. It might be something else. It might be the wire. Oh no, maybe it's just the photo. Oh wait, maybe I'm too far ahead. I think it's just the photo. The only one to traverse the two countries before and after the crimes was you. Yeah, but what about this? What about this thing? What? Somehow, or maybe it's this one. I'm losing so much health. Maybe it's this one, because these are like the only two statements that are relevant. Somehow the two objects were able to penetrate the two countries' impenetrable security. What about this?
Objection! No, it turns out that's also wrong.
Okay. I think I'm on the wrong track. I might be too far ahead. Somehow. What other pieces of evidence do I have? This isn't relevant yet. I don't think so. This just shows him. Yeah, this is...
Whoop. Hey, look at me. Oh, I'm done. Oh, I'm here.
I don't think that's relevant yet. This one's not really relevant yet. This doesn't really explain how anything went across the two countries. Two fires broke out in Babal today. So this isn't on either of these statements. Wait, what is... So this is what Edgeworth is thinking. Usually after you get to the end of a testimony, he like gives you a hint. Only things to cross the border are the primitive statue and the knife. I should hardly think that those two are the only two items, Agent Lang. One of Alabaster knives was used in Babal. Murder weapon. Somehow these two objects were able to... I mean... This also went across. Found at the open air stage. Looks wet. I mean, this did also go across. This, I don't think we can connect this to anything yet. I still feel like this, and then this, and I guess maybe this? The only one who traversed the two countries before and after the crimes was you. What about this? Request to steal the Primidu statue. Handwriting matches that of Manny Cochin. I guess that doesn't really... Murder weapon in the killing of Damas II is Babal's Primidu statue. I mean... Only two. Wait, I want to see what specific things they said on this. She's the only one to go back and forth. She was there, and then she was there.
Hold it. Objection.
Fact that the two weapons crossed the border proves the killer must have also traveled across the country lines. Only 2 items. Somehow these 2 objects. I feel like it's only these last 2 lines that I can really contradict, right? The murder weapon in the killing of Damask II is Babal's Primadou statue, which is correct. One of Alabast's knives was used in Babal to murder Mr. Cochin. That's correct. I mean, I don't think this is actually correct, but I think as far as we're concerned here, we can't prove otherwise. I still think this was the knife used to murder him, and this was just used to cover it up. I mean, we can try this.
Objection.
This one. No, that's wrong. Oh! I wonder if I'm just gonna lose all my health here. I feel like I presented all the relevant evidence to the only statements that work. Like I know what Edgeworth's hint is, and I feel like I know how it could have possibly gone across. I know the things that have crossed. So this is an additional thing that also crossed, but I did present it on both statements. Like, I can't really contradict these 2 or connect them to those 2, I think. I think these are the only ones where presenting something that crossed the border makes sense, or presenting a possibility for how they crossed the border. Unless I just did something wrong. What is this? Found at the open air stage. It looks like a guitar pick. It's also wet. I don't know why that's relevant. I don't know what this means other than it's wet because of the fire. Samurai dog. Why do we still have this? Literally, why do we still have this? Alabast. Primadou statue. 5th floor ambassador's office. I can't present people in this game. Ah, it's illegal to present people. I mean, we know this is the knife that went across the border. I guess technically the other knife is gone. That can't be relevant, can it? Bam, and bam, 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 and bam. Okay, I just want to make sure one more time there isn't like a weird press thing. Wait, what did he say? I concur that this knife crossed over country lines. Good, but that's not the only thing that did. Must forget about the other weapon. The knife will...
Hold it.
It's just, I agree. And also there's that.
Hold it.
And he hasn't figured out how the statue's gone across. Is it possible that we present an alternate theory here? I don't know. I don't even know what we would present. I don't even know what we would present here. This?
Objection.
No, that's what I thought. But I just had to make sure. I think I'm about to lose all my health here.
Hold it.
What did he say here again? You're saying there's Francisca?
Hold it.
How did she bring it over? I haven't figured it out. It's a rather weak statement. Oh yeah, I just pressed that. Some of these 2 objects were able to penetrate 2 countries' impenetrable security. somehow. I mean, like, this is the only statement where I would think it makes sense for us to present this, but I think we already did. Unless I'm crazy. We already did. Let's just die here. Give me my health back. Looks like I've got all the answers I need. Come on, sis. It's time for us to go.
Agent Lang, please wait!
Ha, sorry, but I'm tired of waiting. Because I'm not one for waiting around for others to solve my cases.
Ack!
Miles Edgeworth, why did you lose all your health?
I just wanted to see what the funny dialogue was.
I demand that you do something about this advance.
Ack, but I'm at a loss of what to do myself.
Huh. Well, I know I have plenty to ask the sis here about. Let's go.
And the case was lost for...
Miles!
Is this really where it all ends? Objection.
Oh no, that's the end.
Thus the truth was lost for all eternity.
Okay, give me my health back. Retry. Give me my health back. Give me a save so I don't have to go through that entire screen again. Okay, there's like something specific that I'm missing. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crimes was you. What about this? I wish we could present people, but we can't. So he said that this crossed. The statue crossed, but he doesn't know how the statue crossed. And he thinks that Franziska's the only person who's crossed. This, I don't think is relevant. This was in the safe. This, oh my god. I forgot Larry's just an idiot. These two pieces of evidence, man. Only one who traversed two countries before and after the crimes was you. Did I present this on this statement? I think I did, but I just want to make sure. Okay, good. Let's lose health. Let's lose some health. I feel like this has to be it. It couldn't be that, can it? No, I didn't think so. What about this? I've been saving this because I feel like I might be ahead, and this feels like it might be too far ahead of the game. Like, I feel like we're here. Maybe it's because I haven't... Maybe it's because I haven't actually examined this.
The design of these things are rather eccentric for hair sticks.
Huh, really? Well, if they're that strange, what should I do with them?
I have to say, these are by far the most bizarre hair sticks I have ever seen. In any case, Kay, there's something I've been meaning to ask. How exactly do you stick that hair stick of yours into
the key? Oh yeah, I was watching somebody play this earlier today. They're like way farther behind in the game than me. They're on like case 3. And they mentioned that they're like predicting that the key in Kay's hair is gonna be relevant. But like nobody's mentioned it throughout this entire game. And it feels like no one's alluded to anything. So I feel like that's never gonna come up. Other than this one line where he talks about it.
How exactly do you stick that giant key of yours into your hair like that?
That's a secret.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Hey, take a look at this, Mr. Edgeworth. There's dirt on here. It's totally ruining the beauty of the hair stick.
I suppose. Why is there dirt stuck on the end of a hair stick in the first place?
Oh my god. They're not even gonna recognize it. I was wondering if that was what it was. That doesn't really help. I was hoping that would update the description. Is there anything I haven't examined? First fire at the Bubblies and Bussy occurred during the Jam and Ninja show. The fire took out second fire. After the Jam and Ninja show, fire occurred on 3rd floor. That doesn't help. I feel like this is relevant here. This doesn't really help. Just before and after the crimes. Wait. Am I dumb? I think... I mean, to me, it seemed like the point of this testimony was to prove there was another way to get the two items across, especially with Edgeworth's hint. But is it at all possible that I'm supposed to contradict this? Saying that she didn't show up until after this crime occurred? Because what did he say here? I concur that this knife crossed over country lines. The other weapon. Because this was a murder weapon. But he's saying that she crossed over and brought this murder weapon in after the body was discovered, right? Before and after the crimes. Am I crazy?
Objection!
Yeah, I didn't think so. This seems tough. If anybody knows the answer here, I think I would like a hint. I feel like I was closer to the right track with one of these two things, where I have to prove that either there was something else cross the border, which is what his hint was. The only things to cross the border are the primitive statue and the knife. I should hardly think that those are the only two items. That's his hint. Which means it makes me think that, I think we have to disprove here. One of Alabast's knives was used in Babal to murder Mr. Cochin. I don't want to look up a walkthrough. Murder weapon in the killing of Damask II is Babal's primitive statue.
Hold it!
But how did it get over? Like I told you, that's the only way it makes sense. Is it something like this? No. What do the statues say? It was a fake, but was swapped with the real one. It was originally from Alabast. Used to be real, but has been swapped with the fake one from Babal, used as a weapon. So the Babalese statue is fake, and it was brought to Alabast and used as the murder weapon. So this is the fake one from Babal. And the one left here is the real one from Alabast. Bum-ba-dum. I still think somehow these two objects were able to penetrate two countries' impenetrable security. String? Okay. I still feel like string is like way too far ahead, but like I haven't presented it. So I just want to make sure. Literally, what even am I trying to do? Which one? Is it this one? Bum, bum, bum. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crimes was you. I tried this. And the murder was, I guess both statues would have had to cross. That might be what they're going for here. Is that it wasn't just the one statue that went across? No. Unless it's a different statement. But both statues would have had to cross, not just the one. The two objects. Do you think it's just this statement? No, wait, I've done it on this statement. Objection! Oh, okay, I was right. Okay, I figured it out. I figured it out. Here's the thing. I think I was getting too caught in the weeds of my own theory, which I think is correct. But I think I was definitely right in that I'm way too far ahead, but I was missing something. It's that I guess this is just a really obvious thing that you tend to forget about because you're like trying to jump into the complicated parts of the case. But if one statue went across, it means the other statue also would have had to go across. Not just this thing that I know cross, but we haven't connected to the case yet. And that's why I'm jumping ahead. But it was that both statues had to cross. So in addition to the two things and also the hair sticks, I just had to like work backwards and try to like dumb down or simplify the thinking.
Agent Lang, those two items are not the only two to cross the border tonight.
Oh?
Damask II was killed with Babal's Primedu statue, yes. But if that's the case, then tell me, where did Alabast's Primedu statue go? Precisely. And if the two statues really were switched, then this means that both statues were smuggled across the border at some point. Which means that a total of 3 items were smuggled across the embassies.
I guess so. But you know what? I don't care. Guilty. Doesn't matter the number of items, only that the sis is the only one who could have done it. Because the only person who went back and forth between Alabast and Babal is her. Don't like Lang that much. I like him. Especially after the end of the last part.
Is that really true?
Also, I don't actually think he's actually opposed to Franziska here. I think he's just doing this to try and make Alba lower his guard so that we can actually continue the investigation.
Is that really true? Was there no one else who traveled between the two countries? Actually, there was definitely another person. One who paid a visit to both sides of the wall. The Atagarasu. Objection! Is that really so, Agent Lang?
What a lousy time to try to bluff your way out of this.
I'm no Phoenix Wright. I would never lie to you.
I checked out what the guard said, along with the security camera's footage. You're not gonna try to overturn my hypothesis that easily.
Objection! But suppose there was some other way other than through the theater doors.
What other way?
The other entity that managed to cross the border unharmed.
Okay, now is where I was thinking I had to do this.
If I point it out, it would open up a whole new possibility. And though I hesitate to bring this out, as long as this entity exists, the impossible road becomes a possibility.
Looks like you've got some clever idea in mind.
I do, and I can show it to you through a single piece of evidence.
Fine then. Achia! Let's see this piece of evidence that'll show me this other route.
This piece of evidence will show us another way to move between the two countries!
I was so ahead of the game!
Take that! Agent Lang, I'm sure you are familiar with this unforgettable photo.
That supernatural photo? Like I said before. Humans can't fly.
No, Of course not. That's not. We've been over this like twice in other cases in the games. No, of course not. I understand that perfectly well.
And don't start claiming that Sheena somehow grew wings either.
I wouldn't dream of claiming that.
And I won't allow you to take back what you said either. I'll say it again. It's not humanly possible to fly through the air without wings. So you better have a good explanation for this, Mr. Prosecutor.
Why did you speedline me? That hurt.
Sorry, I didn't know that was a physical pain on you.
But how can I prove who it was that flew through the air in this photo? Wait, not humanly possible. Urethra! Very well. You will have your explanation.
Sounds like you have a good idea simmering inside that head of yours. Let's hear it. The face hidden within this photo's blurry trailed shadow is...
Is it just this? Is it just this? It's not humanly possible. Because obviously they just sent something hurling across. I think it was wrapped in the coat.
Take that.
Take that!
This is the face behind the shadow.
Not so fast! Thought I'd said you better have a good explanation. I can't make heads or tails of what you're trying to say with that.
Was I wrong?
Come on, hurry up and show me what that shadow that's flying through the air is.
Even had you not barked that at me, I would have gladly done so, Agent Lang. I need to go over it one more time. The man-shaped shadow that flew through the air, wrapped in the darkness of night. Its real shape can only be this one thing.
The other statue? Is he saying it had to be the Yatagarasu? No, this is my trump card. I can't present profiles.
Take that!
It's the other one.
That's so dumb.
Oops! It turns out I got the wrong one of the two statues. Sorry about that. I got those two pieces of evidence mixed up.
I forgot, like... I forgot which direction we're talking about. It's dumb because it's like, they both get the same point across, right? That they were going back and forth with the two statues.
Well, fine. I guess it's the other statue specifically. Naturally, the shadow is the third smuggled object, the Primidu statue replica.
You can't be serious!
The Yatagarasu, or rather, Callisto Yu dressed as Agent Sheena, was inside Babal. She dressed the replica statue up in clothes and launched it through the air.
Not so fast! Mr. Prosecutor! You left out a very crucial bit in your explanation.
I know I did.
She launched it through the air? Ha! And how exactly did she do that?
He's literally burying his fangs at me. But he has a point. He has two exactly on both of his fangs. How exactly did it move through the air like that? As long as this remains BuzzFeed unsolved, we won't be able to move any closer to the truth. Which reminds me, didn't he say earlier? Hey sis, I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right? So, just before the murder, Francisco was called here right into this very room. If that's the case, then that may be another avenue I can pursue. Agent Lang, in order for me to answer that question, I will need to hear testimony from Ms. Von Karma.
Oh? What are you up to now, pretty boy?
What? Are you hitting on me again?
Yeah. What are you up to now? You want to go get a bite to eat?
I mean, we're kind of in the middle of something, but... Earlier, you mentioned something of interest to me. You said that just before the murder occurred, Ms. Von Karma had been in this room because Ambassador Alba had called for her. And for that reason alone, you believe her to be the killer.
Yeah, I guess I did say something like that.
In that case, I believe it is my duty to ask her what her side of the story is.
Ha! Do you really think a criminal would tell us the honest truth? How dare you! As I've said numerous times, there is absolutely no proof that I am the killer. Miles Edgeworth, don't tell me that you sus me too!
I don't. Just... Franziska, please, we have a job to do. However, I can't ignore the fact that you were in this room at one point in time. Which is why I would like to hear about it from you.
Knurg!
Franziska, I feel that I still don't have enough information. Which is why your testimony is incredibly important to the outcome of this case.
All right. So, what would you like me to talk about?
I'd like you to please testify to your movements up until you came into this room.
Ha! All right, let's see it. Let's try this your way for a change. But if what she has to say turns out to be a waste of time, Hacha! I'll place her under arrest faster than you can howl. No!
Why did you actually howl that? As you wish.
Movements? As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Alabastian embassy. After I saw the steel samurai off on his way towards the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security station. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back to Ambassador Albert to his office.
Franziska, I want us to make this clear from the very beginning. So what I wish to confirm is that the only time span in which you were in this office was before the murder occurred. Is that correct?
Yes, of course.
I see. For now, the only way that I can see for us to break out of the situation is to ask Franziska about her testimony. The only way for us to break out of the situation is to use the press button on her testimony. There is no contradiction here.
Was assigned to guard duty in Alabast.
I thought your duty was to fact find anything you could about the smuggling ring.
Yes, that was my job. But upon hearing that the Yatagarasu had sent a calling card to the embassy, Ambassador Alba called upon us to protect the embassy instead. That incident 7 years ago. Or have you forgotten what happened here back then?
Anything related to that case we were involved in appears to be rather painful for her. It's not exactly one I can readily forget myself.
It looks like you remember the case after all.
Of course I do, but that's not what we're talking about right now.
I inspected every location, every possible escape route, and every aspect of the police's security detail. I did all that, then after that...
After I saw the steel samurai off on his way toward the ambassador's office, this might be where we actually do something with these two pieces of evidence.
So you were at the theater as well?
Yes, and I suppose you were also there as well, watching the stage show.
Well, yes, so Franziska was there.
Well, after the show was over, and I saw the steel samurai off,
the Rose Garden. So, guess we don't have any evidence for that yet, or anymore. But that's where Albo is going to give his speech.
Hold it!
Why did you need to confirm the degree of preparation for even the speech?
For security's sake, of course. What other reason could I have had? I'm definitely not the murderer, you know. No one knew just how the Yatagarasu had planned on getting in, right?
Yes, I suppose you're right.
And in the end, the Yatagarasu did choose to appear in the Rose Garden. Even if it did turn out to be nothing more than a shadow. Who Ambassador thought that she would use a shadow.
Ow, what? Calm down, Franziska. Why are you hitting me? She must still be nursing a grudge over the fact that she couldn't figure it out herself.
Anyway, there was no one in the rose garden. And we were aware that the speech was set to start soon thereafter.
After the preparations were in place, does that mean anything? I was called back by Ambassador Al.
Hold it!
Why?
At that time, Damask 2's body had yet to be found in this room. Is that correct?
That's right. But Ambassador Alba was here. One could hardly miss his rather large nose, the freaky tree man.
A criminal will say anything to get out of getting arrested. How do we know you're not lying?
Well, if you need proof, I'd be happy to oblige you.
Seriously?
Like I keep telling you, when I arrived at this office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the flower box on the windowsill, messing around with the funny sticks. He was playing with his
four flowers. That's what she's gonna say. She's gonna say he was just by the flower box, messing around with his 4 flowers.
I can attest.
God. So this is the first time he's ever been on screen with his tree man self. Why did they make him a tree man? That's such a weird bit. He's just a weird tree man.
I can attest to that. I remember speaking with the lovely lady around that time here in my office.
All right then, add that statement to your testimony, and let's hear some details.
So Ambassador Alba was in this room at the time, was he?
I bet I have to press this again. Because I can't technically contradict this. Unless this says the soil is dry. No, it doesn't. Tell me more about this.
For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something. How did you know that Ambassador Alba was watering his plants at the windowsill?
What do you mean by that? I saw him. I saw all 4 of his plants.
The entrance to this room is on this side. However, the window is on the opposite side. If what you say is true, then when you entered the room, his body would have been like a wall.
Yeah, but he moved, Mr. Miles Edwards. You know people can move. You know things happen. Multiple things can happen.
He would have been blocking your view of what he was doing. Isn't that not...
Is not that not correct? Excuse me, Edgeworth, that's a double negative.
I suppose it was a bit hard to see around it, but we're in the room right now, Miles Edwards. I can see there are plants there. But fortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not an immovable wall. He's a freaky tree man. I knocked before I entered, and as I did, he turned around to greet me, with a watering can in his hand. So it's only natural to believe that he was watering his plants, right?
I suppose.
After his greeting, we spent a little time talking about his flowers. He had obtained them himself and is growing them with the utmost care, you know.
Yes, the plants in this room, they are all like my children, and I am their tree father.
Yeah, I suppose you are like the tree. The passion flowers in the flower box on the windowsill are growing beautifully too. All 4 of them are in full bloom. Oh, that's not going to be relevant, by the way, so don't tell me to add it to my testimony.
Ugh. Ms. Von Karma, what did you say just now? Did you say an incredibly specific line?
I said that the flowers are growing beautifully. That's the most important part of that sentence, by the way, not the number of flowers. What about that statement do you not understand?
What do I not understand? I do not understand why a certain thing is the way it is if the player hasn't figured this out by now. I'd like for you to append that statement to your testimony.
Very well. There were 4 flowers.
Whoops. I didn't mean to continue. Yeah, I know Edgeworth, don't worry. I didn't mean to press X, I meant to press present.
Franziska, I have a present for you. Are you expecting this? Franziska, for some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence.
It does appear that way.
Ha! I knew it! I knew we couldn't trust your words, sis!
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing discrediting Miss Von Karma like this?
Yes, sir! If you keep this up, she's gonna get taken away, sir!
Eek! All I've done is state what I saw. I have not made a single mistake in my testimony. And for this, I am still under sus for murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important at this juncture, Miles?
At the very least, it is a contradiction in this enigmatic case.
Raymond when... Oh my god! It's the guy that's in the next game. It's the... So, you know what's funny? I only know like 2 characters from the... Well, technically 3. I actually know 3 characters from the next game. And one of them is Raymond Shields. It's because he's like all over the fan art and all over the box art. It's so funny. I actually kind of like his new name. But welcome Raymond Shields. I actually kind of like your new name. A little better. But I guess we won't get there until we get there. Welcome. We're like starting to get into this. Well, not starting. This is the end of the case. But like we're not quite, we don't quite have our murderer just yet.
One that I find hard to dismiss as relevant.
Ha! Then let's hear it, Mr. Prosecutor. What does the number of flowers have to do with anything? What does it prove?
I believe the answer to that will become clear if we were to examine that flower box. How did this contradiction come about? There must be something behind this discrepancy. I promise there's nothing wrong here. I'm not sus. They're just my flowers. I've grown them with my utmost care. So I ask that you please be gentle, please. I'm just a little guy. You wouldn't hurt a little guy in his embassy, would you? I ask that you please be gentle with them, Mr. Wedgeworth.
Unfortunately, we have the same favorite streamer. No, that's so sad. Luckily, oh my god, YouTube has VODs. Isn't that crazy?
I understand.
Thank you for coming anyway. Check this out. We're about to body this guy.
I want to nook and cranny. This patch of soil looks as though it had something removed from it.
Ha! What are you doing, Mr. Prosecutor? Why'd you climb up all of a sudden? I'm still here waiting for an explanation, you know.
Did you know, Agent Lang? Flowers are best appreciated in silence.
Tch.
It looks like 2 things were pulled out of this flower box.
Can I not?
The name of these flowers, I believe they're called passion flowers. Despite being called flowers, they're actually a species of vine. Also, they have flowers on them. They appear to be growing well, and are well supported by these plant supports.
Yeah, but no matter how I look at it, it looks like there are only 2 to me. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little lie has failed you.
Miles Edgeworth! Hurry up and shut this man up for me already. He's being very mean and he won't let me whip him. He always blocks my attacks.
I suppose I will need to use some evidence to shut him up. Urethra! I believe I have just the piece of evidence you require.
Oh, you do you? You have such confidence in the face of your current plight. But I highly doubt it'll last until the end.
You howl like a wolf, Agent Lang. But we'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark after you see the evidence, the truth of this piece of evidence.
Take that!
Urethra! Sheena, who was supposedly in Babal the entire time, had these hair sticks on her.
that look exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are in actuality support sticks for the passion flowers.
Ha! So what? Is this really all that important to the case?
Of course it is. It means that we found yet another item that was smuggled between the countries tonight.
It's so funny how, like, far ahead I was. On the first testimony, I was like, well, obviously, these were smuggled across, but, like, the problem is we were thinking too far ahead because we hadn't actually connected these to the flower pot yet.
Hey-ya!
Think about it logically, Agent Lang. These sticks were originally in alabaster. But somehow, they wound up in Sheena's hands, who was in Babal at the time. So make no mistake, these sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knife and the statue.
Very well, then. I want to hear it from you exactly how they wound up in Babal.
I've already thought this case through. How did these support sticks find their way to Babal, and why? There must be some reason as to why they ended up there. Aha! So that's why! Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this and tell me its shape?
It's just another stick, isn't it?
And so it is, but the shape of the support sticks is what's important. For when they are used with something in this room, that's when it all comes into focus. And the object that completes the picture when used with the support sticks is...
What? Wait. Wait, you aren't telling me that he shot one of the sticks across with the crossbow, tied the string between both of the sticks, and then at the very end shot the other stick across. Oh, it's not selectable. Oh, nothing is selectable. Okay, I think it is that. Am I insane? Because I feel like I don't... Well, I guess technically it could be this. I don't know what they're implying here.
Urethra!
That's a crossbow. Wait, you're not really suggesting...
I am. These hair sticks, or rather, plant support sticks, they make for perfect arrows. Technically, they are called crossbow bolts and not arrows, however.
Hey-ya!
I've done it. I found the common thread that connects the two offices. A literal thread. But this thread has yet to be completely untangled. Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues were transported? Furthermore, who could it have been who fired these sticks as arrows? There must be a common thread that ties all of these things together.
Not so fast! Mr. Prosecutor, hold up a second. You do realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all!
I think I already know where we're going.
So Babal's statue was draped in the Adigurasu's clothes and then shot over here? Even if you fired the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with the statue tied to them. I don't think I need to tell you that the Primitive statue didn't sprout wings. You're a realist after all, aren't you?
I'm pretty sure that's not it.
The Primitive statue doesn't sprout. Are you sure about that? What if I press this button on the back of it? Whoosh! Oh my god. Of course they didn't.
Glad you understand. I feel much better already. I was afraid for a second that you were unaware of that crucial fact.
It's only crucial because you're under the belief that wings are necessary to this equation.
What?
You need to free your mind a bit more and let it fly like a bird on the wind. The Primitive statues flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time, and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon to you.
Wait, how do they want me to do this? I don't think it was shot over here. They tied the two sticks together, shot one across, and then like sent it down the line or something. Press this statement for nothing. What are they? I don't know what they want me to do here. I don't know what they're implying they want me to present here. Is it this? This might not be a present.
Hold it. But that incredible scene just happened to have been caught on film, resulting in this photo.
Ha! And what an incredible scene it was. This photo was taken by a freelance photojournalist, right?
Yes, so I hear.
And not every photojournalist is known to be honest, right? Especially not the ones that sell photos of spirits and giant creatures to tabloids.
Yes, I know what you mean. I also hate that woman as well. I've seen those sorts of photos many a time in court. But there have been times when those photos have turned out to be telling the truth. If you had ever stood in a court of law, you would know that it's entirely plausible.
Ha! You really believe the stuff you're spewing right now? A courtroom certainly is a strange place if what you say is true. But there really is something odd about that photo no matter how you look at it. Even if you find the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with the statue tied to them.
But we are in agreement that an arrow by itself would reach the other side, correct?
I mean, Edgeworth already knows what the trick is. The problem is I have to find a way to present my evidence in this testimony.
But just the arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing.
No, that's not necessarily true.
What?
What I need right now is not further discussion of my conclusions. It's the launching of my conclusions. What the shooter wanted to launch with the crossbow was not the statue themselves, but rather something a crossbow can launch that can be used to move the statues.
Oh, this is a new statement. I was wondering how I was gonna get here. If it wasn't the statue, then why did the crossbow launch?
Urethra! Tisku, tisku, tisku. Finally. Finally, we have reached this point in our discussion. For I present to you that which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow.
Ha! I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you're trying to say. You're saying that the wire was tied to an arrow and then shot into Mr. Cochin's office. All the way from the 5th floor to the Alabastian Embassy. Down to the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy. If what you're claiming is really what happened, I can see how Oh, wait.
Whoops. I wish I could go back to the previous photo where they highlighted the rooms. The problem is that goes downward. And it makes sense for the statue to go down, but we need the other statue to go down as well. Which is probably why the fire happened on the top floors. I think it makes sense. The fires happened. So they did something, and then they set fire to the top floors. That has something to do with it. Gravity could be used to move the statue down the wire from the 5th to the 3rd floor. But then what about Babal's Primadou statue? The dark shadow in this photo is clearly flying away from Babal. Going in the opposite way of gravity from the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy. Up to the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy. How do you explain that?
Aha! I think I finally see how the gears behind this whole trick work. Agent Lang, the motion used behind this trick. I wonder if perhaps you have yet to envision how it works in your head.
Or maybe they just like tied the rope in a way that it's like two ways. Like you could tie something to the rope and then they could okay. So they start the rope on the top end send it down to the other end. Like, oh God, okay. So they hook the rod. They hook the arrow into like the middle of the wire, so that it's like you have 2 wires, right? And then you shoot it across, and then you have the two halves of the wire that you can pull, and maybe they rotated it around like that, so you could just ferry it back up the line. Motion? What motion?
This is the motion that was employed to smuggle Babal's primitive statue.
It's rotary motion. It's the thing I just described, right?
I believe it was done via rotary motion. If the 2 statues were transported simultaneously...
Not so fast! Simultaneously, get real! Statues would collide somewhere along the way!
Objection! Did I ever say there was only 1 line of wire between the 2 offices? If you shot an arrow with the 2 ends of a wire tied to it, a circular belt can be formed.
This is what I was describing. Not so fast! Long Ji says, don't object and call a success what is beyond reasonability. Taking into account the tension differences between the 2 wires, the top one would sag too much to the point where the statues would collide anyway.
Objection! Agent Lang, as you know, the primitive statue is a one-of-a-kind national treasure. And the fact that Babal's statue is a hollow replica of the real statue, it would naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that my idea is very possible.
Long Ji says,
here is what I believe happened. Ms. Yu and her mystery co-conspirator set themselves up in 2 different rooms. The co-conspirator bridged the rooms by shooting the 2 ends of the wire down on 1 arrow. Then the 2 of them covered the statues and proceeded to transport the statues. After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to Babal where it was to be disposed of.
yeah, that's what I said. That's how they both got there, and that's why the wire is only on that end.
And to do that, Miss Yu hid it inside the grandfather clock. QED.
Oh my god. He's so cocky, he's using QED. Ha!
This proves it, right, Agent Lang? That I'm not the killer.
It's so funny how whenever like Franziska's facing someone and they come up with some insane like Rube Goldberg device way the crime could have been committed, she's like,
No, that's really dumb. No, that's not possible. That's not real evidence. You're just guessing. That doesn't count.
and then as soon as Edgeworth uses it to prove her innocent, she's like,
Yes, that's right. How is that? I think that's good enough, right?
not yet, sis. I still haven't had my dessert yet.
Your dessert.
Yeah, that man over there. Right, Mr. Prosecutor.
The proof is in the pudding, as it were.
Pudding is a nice dessert. So, do you think you can do it? Can you prove that what you said is what happened? Because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a certain someone back home with me as a souvenir. I'm gonna pack her up in the luggage.
I agree that as long as there is no proof, my hypothesis remains just that. However, what I have laid out is no mere hypothesis, for there is one more piece of evidence.
One more? This should be interesting. You think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact? Well, then let's see it, Mr. Prosecutor.
The thing that made it possible to create a circular belt of a length out of a length of wire. I believe that it is right here in this very room.
Is it?
Now then, I believe this is what made the circular belt transportation method possible.
I was gonna say, is it the tree? Because that's like big enough. But is it possible that it's actually this? Because like
I feel like they made a big deal about there being a fan that was fallen down in the other room. So there are fans in both rooms, and they're both circular.
Ha! Looks like you dropped another bomb on us again.
The last piece of evidence was a trick. Are 2 pulleys!
Precisely. The ceiling fans double as pulleys in this case. And thanks to the fact that there is one installed in each of the offices, the ceiling fans made for the perfect pulley set for the wire to run on. This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypass the impenetrable security.
You really are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. I bet you figured it all out already, haven't you? You know who the big hotshot is that set up this real-life stage show is, don't you? I said is twice, even though it wasn't in the dialogue.
The person who set up this rather large and complex stage show needs to be someone who had foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both the Alabastian and Bubbly's offices, and that the passion flower support stakes could be used as arrows. The real mastermind behind this case.
Well, don't you dare make this wolf wait for his food.
So obviously we know who it is, right?
The big tree man.
Why are you so hesitant, Miles Edgeverse? If you can't say who it is, why don't you present something like you always do?
A single point of the finger here, and this case will explode into an international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop the forward momentum. It appears that I have no choice now but to rush in. There is a piece of evidence that will point us to...
I was hoping they would let me present a profile and I would just say something dumb, like Miss Oldbag. But we have to actually point out evidence that proves who it is. Wait, what are we implying? The piece of evidence that proves who the mastermind is? Because I feel like it's obviously who we know it is, but I don't know what evidence. Is it the trump card?
Take that? And this is it!
No, that's wrong.
Not so fast! Where's my real dessert? How long do you intend to keep it from me? That piece of evidence isn't satisfying at all.
Wait! Stop being so picky! Don't be mean to me, I'm just a little guy. The person who concocted the trick used to smuggle the statues. I should already have the piece of evidence that shows who that is. I just have to present it, no matter what the cost. There's a piece of evidence that will point us to...
Is it the tape that shows that it's the Codopian embassy? Is it this? That shows it belonged to... what's his face? Bum, 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 bum.
Take that?
I don't know what they're implying the evidence should be. I think I'm like overlooking something specific. Wait, is it this?
Take that? Not so fast?
Me losing all my health when I thought... like, I know what the answer is. It's not just... is it just this?
Take that?
Okay. That's actually what I thought it was first, but I thought that might be too dumb. Let me get my health back. Cause like I know it's obviously Ambassador Alba. I was just like, wait, what piece of evidence do they want me to present to be like it was Ambassador Alba? Because like we were already talking about the flowers. I was thinking like, well, they probably don't want me to present that, right? The flowers or the sticks. But it's because this piece of evidence says they're Alba's flowers.
Take that! This smuggling could not have been possible without the use of the crossbow. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow were plucked, as it were, from the flower box in this very room. They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had the time to grow so big that Ms. Von Karma didn't even notice the arrows when she visited this room today. On top of all this, the fact that the culprit knew that both offices had ceiling fans tells us that the person has a very detailed information on the embussy's layout. So as you may have already guessed, the person I am accusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box with utmost care. Thus, it can only be you, Quercus Alba.
I'm just a little guy, though.
Are you out of your mind, Miles Edgeverse?
I'm certain of what I'm saying, and I'm sure that he is the culprit.
Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor, what was the ambassador trying to accomplish by doing all that stuff you just outlined? Why in the world would he need to use a trick like that?
I understand your need to doubt me. However, there is one thing that stands out to me as very odd.
Just one thing, huh?
The one single end result Ambassador Alba sought to obtain. If we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we will finally find the answer to everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence.
What? If we were to examine the focus... Oh, wait, is it just the statue? Wait, which one? Wait, which statue? The problem is, last time we had to present a statue, I presented the wrong one, and that made me take damage, so I don't know which one I'm supposed to present.
Take that? I would fully understand the reasoning had the situation been the reverse. However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real primitive statue for the fake, I sense a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. And who better to ask for that reason than King Primidu himself?
I see. Ambassador, we'll be examining that statue now, with or without your permission. I mean... Ooh, hello. You know, I never noticed this before, but that is the same pattern that the flowers have.
A shield. There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about it.
I bet it's supposed to mean that the guy's protecting something.
I don't think it's supposed to. I don't care about that.
Are we just looking at the hand again? I think we're just looking at the hand again.
These are Mr. Cochin's fingerprints. The fact that they're on here suggests that this statue once belonged to Babal.
So it was smuggled from Babal to Alabast, huh?
Why was there a need for them to smuggle it in?
Guy? This guy kind of looks like the Steel Samurai, don't you think? Maybe it's because they look alike that he was picked to be the Goodwill Ambassador.
I suppose that's possible. Take a look at this area around the base of his neck. It looks like a gap.
Oh, hello. Hey, you're right. Maybe it's meant to be some kind of secret.
Perhaps it's possible to open the statue from this gap in its construction.
What?
Hurry up and open it, Miles.
All right, don't pester me. I'm in the middle of doing it. Here goes.
What is this?
Wow, it really did open up.
Hey, what's this thing that fell out?
I believe a more thorough examination of it is required.
Oh, wait, are these the plates? Oh, wait. Are these the plates that they were using for the printing press to forge currency? And they wanted to swap the statues so that they could frame the other half, the other guys, for the crime?
What in the... Is this?
Hey, is this what I think it is?
It's a plate for making counterfeit bills.
Somehow, it appears that we've at long last arrived at the exit to this complex labyrinth. We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money plates, and the reason why the replica was smuggled into Alabast to begin with. The Primidu statue can only be handled by the ambassador or the secretariat.
Look at how dumb he looks. Look at this little tiny tree man.
And the replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. These two circumstances make the statue the ideal object in which to hide contraband. After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plate from Sheena, the ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into Mask Damask II. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador raised the replica statue at Damask II and...
I'm just a little murder guy.
Then, in order to frame the steel samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai sword in blood. Well, Ambassador Alba?
You're the leader of the smuggling ring? My country is a mess, and it's all because of you?
You're the one who killed Damask too?
Answer us!
I never thought that you would figure things out to this level. However, there is one point I disagree with you on. The head of the smuggling ring was Mr. Cochin.
Not so fast! Quit screwing around! I have no sympathy for someone who would try to pass the guilt onto a dead man. There's one thing I'm sure of, it's that you're the real ringleader, Quirkus Alba.
But I'm just a quirky little guy. It's not good to speak with such subjectivity, you know, Agent Lang.
Subjectivity? My conclusion is anything but, and is the result of logic and Miles Edgeworth Investigations 1.
Logic and investigation. Only seconds ago, you were ready to arrest Ms. Von Karma. You must be a real dummy. I don't think we can give such flip-floppy logic any real weight, do you? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Looks like you still don't get why I came back. Oh my god, I was right!
Excuse me?
You see, the reason I came back is so that I could sink my fangs into your wrinkly old neck. I know old people have a lot of meat on their bones. From the very beginning, my real target has been you! What?
Agent Lang, I demand an explanation.
Sorry, sis. I didn't mean to put you through all that. I knew you were innocent from the very beginning. Yeah, obviously. Like, there's no way he would be so dumb as to honestly believe she did it.
You did?
I knew that this whole incident had been meticulously planned and prepared for. So naturally, the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seemed the most sus. But without the ambassador's permission, we couldn't get in to take another look around.
Ah, so that's why you put on this big show to accuse Franziska of the murder. Using Franziska as the bait, you were able to gain us entry and investigative rights.
Yeah, if I hadn't done that, I doubt the ambassador would have given the okay to poke around.
So that's what all this was about. Very well. I will forgive you, but just this once. Everybody only gets one chance. But in exchange for using me as bait, I'm going to whip you with my whip 100 times. Is that okay? You will take some responsibility and help us find the truth.
Agent Lang, for giving me such a great opening, I thank you.
I'll give you an opening. You know, I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor.
somehow we were able to find some proof by investigating this room, then you would be able to figure out the real culprit with your special brand of logic.
The evidence detectives collect, combined with the logic of a prosecutor. That's just as it should be in a prosecutor-detective team, right?
I don't know about all that. I just think you're hot. But one thing I do know is that I'm itching to see that old man get what's coming to him.
Ho, ho! I'm Santa. You're quite scary when you want to be, aren't you?
Ha, hey, you were the one who was planning to use me to push all the guilt onto the sis. But unfortunately for you, you misjudged me.
Agent Lang, I wish for you to stop trying to intimidate me. What we need right now is evidence and proof. I wonder if you have what is necessary to prove that I am the head of the smuggling ring.
Objection! Don't be such a sore loser. You already lost. You admitted it. It doesn't matter if you're the head of the smuggling ring. We're sending you to jail. If you really are the head of the smuggling ring, then you should acknowledge your crimes with dignity.
Dignity? That is nothing more than a fool's insecure display of strength. Also, I don't want to go to jail, so I'd rather keep lying. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes, then I would like to first see some of this thing you call evidence. I tell you, I knew nothing, really. I didn't even know that a counterfeit plate was hidden inside that statue.
Objection! You swapped a real statue that vested in your country the authority to rule for a fake. It doesn't make any sense that you didn't know anything.
It doesn't make sense? Where doesn't it make sense? Can you prove that it doesn't make sense?
Gnark!
He's really got us. And he has a really good final boss scene. Wait, why do I hear boss music? He's turns the entire situation about.
The proof that Interpol has been after which points to this man as the ringleader. If we can somehow find that proof now, then we can see to it that justice is finally served. Is there nothing I can use to break this case wide open?
Oh yeah, remember this was Detective Bad? We found out at the end of the last case that Detective Bad pointed the gun at him.
The trump card and the videotape. With those two items, we might be able to finally bring this man down. But the card is evidence from a case that Mr. Faraday hid away in secret. And the tape was stolen by Detective Bad from the police. They're both illegal evidence.
Bum bum bum. Flashback to the DLC case of Ace Attorney 1.
That's illegal evidence, my boy. No matter what, a protector of the law can't be allowed to use such pieces of evidence. Needless to say, we von Karmas are commanded to achieve nothing but victory. And by any means necessary. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. I no longer follow the path of Manfred von Karma, and I won't follow the path of the Yatagara Sioux. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then I will sully my hands in illegality. And if I want to pursue justice, then I will lose the truth. What is the law? What is justice? And which path is a prosecutor supposed to follow? That choice is one I must make by my own hand here and now.
Here's a question. Does this game have multiple endings? Does this game have multiple endings? I feel like, in my heart of hearts, as an Ace Attorney player and a prosecutor, I believe the true, most lawful, most just, most truthful choice is to not use the trump card. Because that's illegal evidence. Is there any way for me to use illegal evidence in a non-legal way? Evidence from KGA containing orders from boss. Is there any way for me to use this evidence, but not in an illegal way? This reminds me exactly of case 1-5. It might be, you know what it might be? It might actually be the exact same thing as case 1-5, where it is currently illegal evidence, so obviously I don't use it. And then maybe later he'll say something to make it relevant and therefore legal evidence. Don't use the trump card.
I am a prosecutor, and I can't allow myself to use evidence such as these.
Mr. Edgeworth, if you don't do something, Ambassador Alba's gonna get away with it.
I know, but...
Objection! What are you holding back for? The only thing Von Karma should pursue is the perfect proof. If you really do have what it takes to complete our argument, then there is absolutely no reason not to use it.
Not so fast! Long G says, the reason people judge people is because people are people. Chat, is this a good saying? Is this good advice? People weren't born to be chained to the law. Laws were born to protect the people. You're the only one here right now who can put this guy out to pasture. And that is the only way a second or third generation of Zhonghua's people will be born. Can you really still hesitate knowing the fate of a nation rests in your hands?
There is no limit to the law. Any limit that exists was set there by man. When a person goes beyond that limit, then the law too crosses into new territory. For what reason were laws invented? The answer to that is what I must now show. Ambassador, guess what? The illusion of choice, B? Ambassador Alba, I wonder if you might recognize this. It turns out you don't get to pick one because there's just going to be additional dialogue justifying the use of the other choice. Ambassador Alba, I wonder if you might recognize this.
Oh, I wonder. I don't know what you're talking about. What's that? I've never seen it before. I'm not sus.
It's a directives card used by the leader of the ring to relay instructions to his subordinates.
Oh, is that what it is? I never would have guessed.
This card was sent to the real culprit behind the KG8 incident 10 years ago. A man by the name of Mr. Manny Cochin.
Oh, so why do you have such a card in your possession?
Because it was hand-delivered to me by a certain great thief, the Yatagarasu.
The Yatagarasu gave that to you? Well, that's illegal evidence. Guilty.
You don't get to say...
Guilty! You're going to jail. Don't talk nonsense, and let's be serious, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you have any proof that the card contains directions from the ringleader?
I'll have you know that the card is not the only thing I was given.
What?
This contains security footage that was shot just before the start of the KG8 incident.
The KG8 incident?
The card and the video. These two pieces of evidence are what will seal your fate.
Oh Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas. Very interesting. I must admit, I am very curious now. Very curious indeed in these case-deciding pieces of evidence you presented.
The prey the Yatagarasu has been chasing all this time now stands before me. I can't allow this man who has had free reign for 10 long years to simply walk away. Now is the time for me to bring to fruition the valiant spirit that was given to me.
And we'll do that next time, because this is probably the perfect point. Oh my god. Oh, we're so close. Next time, next stream, this Friday, it's going to be the last episode of Ace Attorney Investigations. We're definitely going to get it, no matter how long we have to take. And also, it's going to be my last stream before Christmas break. Oh my gosh. It's almost Christmas time. I have like so much Christmas shopping to do. Oh, I already saved. We're good. But yeah. Oh, this is getting good. I'm really excited for the last part of the case. I can't wait to see this guy's breakdown. I want to see him like turn into a tree or something. But yeah, thank you so much for coming today. Friday, we're gonna finish this up. So thank you so much for coming. I will see you all next time. And as always, oh, Yasu Moriarty. Good night.